Hello and happy Sunday. I am Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and today is Sunday, August the 13th. I almost said May, don't know why. But anyway, today is Sunday, August the 13th, and it is back to school time here in East Tennessee. I don't know about where you are located, but yeah, the kiddos are headed back. And I spent a small fortune at the grocery store today on a child who doesn't even live with me on school supplies. But anyway, hello and happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you all are having a great week. I hope the weather is not too torrential for you. Thank you to everyone who checked in on us this week. There was an EF1 tornado, which I didn't even know to rate them. Hello, Lynn. I mean, I do know to rate them. I've watched Twister enough times. I know that they're rated, but there was an EF1 about an hour from here, and then there was an EF2 like 15 minutes from here. And come to find out, we had a set of installers that were like, I don't know, 6 miles from it. But anyway, hello, John from home base. He is actually home this week. And really, I should have had you come by and get Dusty because he's already clacking on the floor. And hello, Carol Lou. Hello, Elaine. But anyway, thank you to everyone who checked on us. We are fine. The street that I work on, up and down this street, I don't know, we didn't have a tornado, but there were tree limbs down everywhere. But yeah, it's weird. Everybody that was involved in the storm, I mean, lots of people had damage, lots of trees down. Some people lost, roofs and things. Hello, Corrine. But everybody seems to be okay. So thank you to everyone who checked in on us. We are all good. And then we had another round of wicked storms again, like 2 days later. So I don't know what is up with that. But anyway, hello and happy Sunday. I am Kelly. This is IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. These are our live Facebook chats. And tonight is chat. Hello, Melissa. It's good to see you. I'll see you again on Tuesday, I guess. And I'll try to pick some cucumbers before I come Tuesday because it sounds like Chris needs some too. And I've eaten just about all the cucumbers that I can eat. And hello, Sarah. Yep, Sarah from Rowley, Massachusetts. And hello, Sandra from Demons Ferry. If you're brand new, please let us know because we would love to welcome you. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, that's just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. And hello, Sherry from Cape Coral, Florida. Thank you. And oh yeah, Melissa, I have to tell everybody about the shakes too. I forgot to put that in my notes, but I will let everybody know and probably show them next week. But yeah, but if you're brand new, let us know. And if you're watching on YouTube, still say hello because I would love to welcome you. Face the YouTube crowd. Y'all have gotten super quiet lately, but anyway, you need to get that chatter up just a little bit. That's what keeps me going, is the chatter. So, again, another Sunday. It's August the 13th today. Hello, Barbara. Good to see you. Again, if you're new, let us know. We would love to welcome you. If not, just hang on for the ride. So, planning on not having any technical issues tonight. I hope not because I have been running the air fryer all afternoon and I've had the Instant Pot going. And we're going to have the Instant Pot going again in the second half. Hello, Marianne. So yeah. So a little bit of news for this week. And hello, Sherry. First of all, thank you, Mary McDonald, for sending stars last week. Oh, wait. Hello, Ann from, I'm going to pronounce it incorrectly, Chapin, South Carolina. Chapin, South Carolina. But hello. But thank you very much, Mary McDonald, last week for sending some stars. I don't know if you all have heard me say this yet or not, but I'm trying to reach a goal of 5,000 stars, and I'm at 534. I don't know how it's an uneven number. I don't know how that works. I don't know if you have to give them in like 10, 20, 25, whatever increments. Hello, Trish from California. But my goal is 5,000. The 5,000 would help to pay for some of the new things that I kind of went crazy and got here to try out and test some things for you all. So I appreciate it when you all send stars. Thank you again very much, Mary McDonald, for sending stars last week. You can send them while we're live here on Facebook, or you can send them later, even when the video is replaying. So like, if you don't get it tonight, if you're not watching tonight, so today is August the 13th, and if you're not live with this tonight, if you're watching later, you can always send stars later. Again, I appreciate those so much. A little bit of showroom news. So Josh must have heard my and your desperate pleas for help because look, drum roll, please. And hello, there you are, Mary from Pittsburgh. And she finally figured out how to do it, and I do. I thank you so much. So drum roll, please, everybody. We have a working microwave. Most of the cabinet doors have pulls, like you can open a drawer and click. What? No, I'm over here. You come back over here. Okay, Dusty has gone to another room and started barking. Don't know what that's about. But we have a working microwave. Most of the drawers have pulls on them. The stove has, like, you can tell what time it is, but it doesn't work yet because the gas is not hooked up, but that's okay. We have, let me think, what else do we have working? The refrigerator's plugged up, and check it out. Woo! We have running water. I never thought that I would be so happy to be able to wash dishes. I would like to comment though, the faucet that I bought, I had no idea, like, look at this thing. I had no idea that I was buying this, but right now the water's cold, and can you all see that it has it's got blue LED lights. When it gets lukewarm, it turns green, and when it's hot, it turns red. I had no idea that I bought a faucet like that, but super cool. Anyway, that was a weird thing to find out. Okay, so that was our little bit of news for tonight. Now I need to know, while Dusty paces anxiously, and hello Sandra from Naperville. So now I need to know who attended an in-person workshop last week. So let me see some thumbs ups for that. Trust me though, Corrine, Josh is not, he's not done. Yeah, I know. And Cynthia says, how fancy. Yeah, hello Sylvia, how fancy. So yeah, it's fancy that we have running water now. Yeah, so exciting. We've still got a lot to go on back here and a lot to go on over here. But anyway, thank you to Josh and friends. Actually, it was Kelsey and her 3 little friends who did most of the work while Josh stood there and supervised. But anyway, who attended an in-person workshop last week? Give me some thumbs ups for that. And thank you, Sandra. These are some of my favorite earrings, but thumbs ups for that. Yeah, no, and I'm sorry, Cynthia. So thumbs ups for that, or thumbs ups if you did a Zoom workshop last week. And you know, you do not have to be in East Tennessee to go to, hello Vicky, to go to Gwen's workshops on Thursday. So if you want to see me, Lynn, Sandra, Mary, Chris, there are several of us that attend Gwen's workshop, her Zoom workshops on Thursdays. That counts, and you do not have to be in East Tennessee to do that. So thumbs ups for attending an in-person workshop or a Zoom workshop. Thumbs ups for that. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lynn, I couldn't go this week. John and I were invited to a grand opening for a very fancy restaurant that we did the countertops for. And hello, Liz from San Angelo. Hearts. Oh yeah, and Melissa just reminded me, please, if you're in East Tennessee, please, and hello, Barbara, please come to the Tuesday night workshop in Powell that we attend. We're in, like, dire straits. We are so close to losing our workshop, and I can't imagine. If I do not have Gwen on Tuesday nights, I do not know what I'll do. But hearts for coming here with us live last week, for attending with us live last week, or for watching later on demand. Hearts for that. So bravo to everyone who here would be the last week of summer here in East Tennessee. Don't know when your school goes back there, but hearts to everyone for continuing through the summer to attend your workshops, your Zoom workshops, and here with us. Yeah. Extra bravo stickers for that. Congrats everybody on that. Last week was chat number 328, and we were talking about stressed. Who's stressed? Nobody around here is stressed. Yeah, if you are alive and kicking and awake, then you are under stress. So it could be because you got stuck in traffic. It could be because you can't run the air conditioner at the same time that you're doing your chat. It could be because you can't, because a tornado was coming through and you didn't know it. It could be some form of stress. So we're all under some amount of stress, and Cynthia says she's not stressed. Okay, Cynthia. Maybe not to the scale of everybody else, but yes, we're all under stress. And remember, I told you last week that stressed backwards spells desserts. So it's no wonder that we tend to eat when we're stressed if it spells desserts when you turn it around backwards. And hello, Orlando Debbie. So the 3 fast facts that Weight Watchers wanted us to remember, and the things that I went over last week. The first one was tomorrow will have enough worry of its own. So I reminded you that even the Bible says not to worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to have enough to worry about on its own. So just live in the moment, live in today. Worrying about what might happen or what could happen, it can actually cause more stress. So if you're already under stress and then worrying about what might happen, so it hasn't even happened yet, but if you're just worrying about what might happen, that can actually cause more stress. The second thing, I already said this, stressed spelled backwards spells desserts. Okay, that should just be wrong. Okay, so it's no wonder we want to eat when we're under stress. And then the last thing was anchor against the storm. So here I go again with the Bible verses. Last week I had listened to I think it was a 2-hour women's prison ministry right before this. Oh, hello, Myrna. And Sandra lost 1.4 pounds this week. That is awesome. But, you know, so if you're in the middle of a storm, you know, life's kicking, you know, it's kicking up some waves. You know, the whale has swallowed you, regurgitated you around, spit some back out, you know, on and on and on, you know, everything. You've got to drop an anchor. So we spend a lot of time with Weight Watchers talking about anchors, and anchors can be, ooh, Barbara lost 1 pound. Good, very good. Y'all are on a losing streak this week. But we talk a lot about anchors and about things that can keep you anchored, you know, into your Weight Watchers plan and your Weight Watchers program. And so last week we did the 5 things that you could, you know, the 5-point breathing exercise to kind of, you know, anchor you, you know, and keep you centered. And the first one was to take a deep breath. Name 5 things that you could see. The second one was another deep breath. Name 4 things that you can feel. The third one was to take a deep breath. Name 3 things that you can hear. Then take a deep breath. And I'm going quickly because we're not redoing this today. 2 things you can smell. And then the last one was take a deep breath and name 1 thing that you could taste. So your homework for last week was #DropThatAnchor. And so one time this week, when stress reared its ugly head, I wanted you to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and kind of, you know, just breathe and, you know, just release that stress by doing that. So Mindy kind of did her homework. So she accidentally did her homework by providing the easy to remember order for the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So she said, if you remember it this way, if you start at the top, so like if you start at the top of your head and work your way down, you know, eyes, then you're working your way down to your nose, then feel, rub your cheeks for feel, then ears for hear, and then mouth for taste. So she had them in a little bit different order than I did. Oh wait, why does Barbara say come on or come, Marianne? So she had them in a little different order than I did, but she did the 5. Oh, congratulations. Okay, very good. And then you'll have to go check out one of our Marys. You'll have to go check out her post over in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group. And if you're not already a member of that group, I am sure that Debbie or Carol Lou can share that link for you because they are pretty tech savvy to get you over there so that you can join. But Mary's post on If You Have an Egg was so cool. It's a graphic, and I didn't have space on here to print the whole graphic, so I just listed the first 3 things. It says, I will breathe, and that's what we were talking about in the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 was breathing and experiencing these things. So the first thing was, I will breathe. The second one was, I will think of solutions. So while you're doing your breathing and you're calming down, you'll think of some solutions, And then it said, I will not let my worries control me. That was perfect. It went hand in hand with our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 last week. It goes on from there. It's got about 4 more things after that, but that's over in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group, and you can just check for Mary over there, and you can find that. And then the last one is, I had Alyssa, who is my 5-year-old, if John's still listening, it's our 5.5-year-old, almost kindergartner. She starts kindergarten on Thursday. Can you believe it? Can y'all believe that? But I had her practice this over the weekend just in case, and thank you, Debbie, for sharing that, just in case I ever needed it to calm her down, okay? She's not very easily excitable, but boy, when she is, she's a little like, you know, like you have to get her to breathe. So I had her practice it, and she was so stinking cute because she used her eyes, her nose, her ears, and yes, Debbie, I know, her ears, and hello, Lisa from Arkansas, her ears, her sense of touch, and her mouth to give me the cutest answers. And she spent so much time really, you know, breathing and looking and finding her 5 things, and then listening and finding her 4 things, and then feeling and finding her 3 things. You know, she just spent so much time doing it that it was adorable, but she had invested so much time in it that I feel confident that she was more relaxed when we got finished. So bravo for doing your homework. Aloha, Kathy. Bravo to everyone, and especially to Alyssa, for doing your homework this week. You all are rocking it. You're doing a good job as we wind down summer here. But yeah, extra bravo stickers for doing this during the summer. So this week's topic, though, we're talking about 5 cues to eat more mindfully. And I have a question for everybody. Have you ever gotten to the bottom of some soggy fries in a greasy drive-through bag and thought, why did I even eat that? So, hello, Loretta. Who's done that? So who's gotten to the bottom of the soggy fries in the greasy drive-through bag and thought, why? Isn't that so cute? Mary says, bravo, Peanut. But then think, why did I eat that? That wasn't even good. Hands right here. So who has done that? Yeah, Lynn says definitely, or maybe that was definitely about the being calm. But yeah, been there, done that. Barbara's done it. I know all y'all, it may not be French fries, but Mary's done it. I know everybody has done this at some point. Sandra's done it. Okay, so maybe it was because you paid for it. Cynthia says, unfortunately, me. Yeah, so sometimes I do it just because I paid for it. And I think, oh gosh, I can't throw that away. I paid good money for that. Maybe your favorite aunt made it for you. Maybe your sister made it for you, and they made it just for you. Or perhaps you were just busy and you didn't even notice that what you were eating wasn't that great to start with until it was gone. So, it happens. It happens to all of us. So there are 5 cues. There are 5 cues. Q, like the letter Q. Wait, A, B, C, Q. Pretty sure that's Q. There are 5 cues that we're going to go over that may get in the way of mindfully eating. And the first one is, can you see the food? So sometimes when you can see it, you can actually see the food, you think, oh, I have to have that. Even if you didn't think you wanted it, and even if it doesn't taste good, if you see it, sometimes you think you need it. Smelling the food, smelling the food gets me so many times because then you have to have it. The situation, maybe you're in a situation where you think, here I am with these people or in this event or whatever, I have to eat it. Sometimes the food sounds delicious, like if it's supposed to be crispy and you hear that, or if sometimes the food just sounds like you need to have it. Or sometimes you think, this is special. This food is special. That doesn't mean it's good. So seeing it, smelling it, the situation, how it sounds, and is this food special or should it have been special? That does not necessarily mean that it's good and that we should continue eating it. So 3 fast facts from Weight Watchers this week. The first one is, give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything. Do you all remember that commercial where they're like, give it to Mikey, he'll eat it? Because Mikey eats everything. And it was some kind of cereal. I don't remember what kind of cereal it was, but, and then they were like, he likes it. So at times, we're all Mikey at times. Okay, sometimes we eat things other people would send back or would push away or would be like, that's not good. And they would just push it out of their way. Sometimes we still eat the food. It was Life cereal. You're exactly right, Cynthia. Civilians, people who don't have weight issues, people who just kind of wander through life and don't really obsess over food like we do. They have a tendency to stop eating when something's the wrong temperature, if it wasn't prepared well, it isn't what they asked for, or it just doesn't taste good. I don't always do that. Okay? Research shows, though, that a lot of times, we eat food that we really just don't like. Okay? Hold on. Loretta's accidentally already doing her homework. She said, a few months ago, I saw the picture of tiramisu in a restaurant, and it was so pretty, and she wanted it, but it was yuck. Okay. Did you stop eating it? So I have to touch something to see the rest of that. Loretta, did you finish eating it? Or did you go, nope, not for me? Okay, so sometimes we eat food that we don't really like. It's a proven fact. The next thing is Simon smells. And I know, it's Simon says, but good for you, Loretta. Extra bravo sticker for that. So I know, it's Simon says, but have you ever just smelled something and suddenly you know that you just better leave the area because trouble is coming? You know something bad is getting ready to happen. For that very reason, I marketed peppers and onions and fresh baked cookies at Casey's Elementary School for their fall festival. They were having trouble getting people to purchase things at the fall festival. And because this is a proven fact, and I proved it again all those years that Casey was at First Lutheran Elementary School, I told them, I said, quit serving things that you can't smell. You've got to go. Oh yeah, Melissa says cake cooking at Sam's. I kept telling them at her school, you've got to do something that people can smell. They will, even if they don't think they're hungry, they will buy food. They may or may not eat it, but they will pay for food. So we did peppers and onions on the, over in the, the regular food line. And then before you went out the door to the blow-ups and everything, we did fresh baked cookies. They were cheap, inexpensive, already frozen, whatever. But because they could smell them, people spent 2 and 3 times as much money as they were going to. This is a fact, okay? So even the people that attended and did not think that they were, oh yeah, popping popcorn, it's a perfect example. Carol Lou also said popcorn. That is a perfect example. So even people who attended, or us attending something else, thinking that we weren't going to eat or thinking that they weren't going to eat, they ended up buying either the peppers and onions or the cookies or both. It's a fact that just seeing the food or smelling the food can make you more likely to eat it. That is an actual fact. And then my last one is, to Grandma's house we go. So thinking about heading out to Grandma's house, did that just stir up any special feelings for anybody? Did any special feelings about food come to mind? Weight Watchers nailed this one, because certain situations and the way that you remember them, the way you think about them, the way you feel about them, the way you dream about them, you know, or how it's related to food, or a food that maybe, was kind of, I don't know, kind of part of that, that can prompt you to eat. Even if you didn't think that you were going to eat. Oh yeah, Sylvia says even coffee. If she smells it, she wants it with cream. And hold on a second, I missed a couple. Corrine says she has heard of realtors using that strategy to sell a house. Okay, salesperson, yeah, sales 101. We would 100% have cookies baking here in the showroom to make you want to purchase this kitchen if I could stay out of the cookies, okay? I promise you it works. It is a fact. And Debbie says Publix fried chicken smells so good, but you get them out and they taste dried after sitting under those warming lights. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So thinking of a certain situation like Grandma's house, or like a family reunion, or something that you go to, just so often. Well, like, okay, so if John is still here, if I say, all I have to do is throw out something like 9 Fine Irishmen, and he would already be thinking about, oh, it's a special situation, and we're having a good time, and we're on a trip, and I'm going to eat this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. Casey and Ellen, if I just threw out, hey, Magic Kingdom, they would already start thinking about, Hollywood Studios, if I threw that out, they'd already be thinking about turkey legs, and that, they all, just certain things, your memories, food is always intertwined in there, and just thinking about, those memories, or being in those situations, just the thought of attending a wedding, you're thinking, oh, wedding cake, and there's going to be food there that I don't get to have all the time, whatever. So certain situations and the way that you remember them, or your anticipation of them, can prompt you, that alone can prompt you to eat. Okay, so this week's homework, oh wait, hold on a second. Loretta says, when my mom was alive, just going in her kitchen smelled so good that today she can still smell her mom's kitchen. I totally get that, Loretta. Totally get that. I know y'all think I'm crazy, but there are certain things that I think, oh, Nana's tofu, my mom's tofu. I totally get it. Ooh, Barbara says nuts roasted at Disney parks. Amen to that. That's another one of those smell and bring you in things. But so your homework for this week is mind your cues. So instead of, and Debbie says her grandmother equaled German chocolate cake. Another good one. See, now y'all got me hungry just thinking about all this. But your homework for this week is hashtag mind your cues. So it's not mind your P's and Q's. It's just mind your cues. And remember, those cues were seeing something, smelling something, the situation. Let's see, it was seeing, smelling, situation. I'm going to cheat and go back to them. And I know those start with S instead of Q, but I don't know. That's what Weight Watchers named it. How does the food sound? And does it seem special? Like, do you think that food is special? So identify one of those 5 cues, something that you could smell. And you all have already identified like 15 things here, okay? So identify one of those 5 cues. Did you smell it? Did you see it? Does a special situation bring up a memory? Does a person bring up a memory, a memory that makes you want some kind of food? So pick one of those 5 things that makes you want to eat. This, I started to say this week, maybe it makes you want to eat tonight, I don't know. And shout it out loud. And then how did you handle it, or how will you handle it next time when it comes up? And then write it down, snap a picture of it, whatever you need to do to share it for your homework. School is back in session this week here in Knox County, okay? Excuse me just a second. So school is back in session. I'm going to tell y'all, I have let you slack on the homework this summer because it was summer, okay? And if the kids weren't doing homework, I wasn't making you all do homework. I expect everyone to do their homework, okay? I expect everyone to do their homework this week. So homework, homework, homework. Mind your cues. Pick one of those 5 things. You smelled something, saw something, there was a situation. You know, I'm going to have to look at the other 2. Oh, how did it sound? You heard some food, or something made you think that the food was going to be special. So pick one of those 5, and then tell us how you either handled it, if you've already handled it, or how you're going to handle it next time. And so your homework is hashtag mind your cues, MINDYOURQS, mind your cues. Don't forget to tag me. You're going to tag me on Instagram. It's at IfYouHaveAnEgg. If it's here, I'll just see it because it's going to pop up in my notifications. If it's over in our Facebook group, I should see that notification, but you can tag at Kelly Green Milligan and I will see it. Thank you, Lynn, very much for that, for posting the homework. If you are on Connect, that's also just at IfYouHaveAnEgg. You can tag me and I will see that, that post. And if it's on YouTube, you get special, super top secret, extra credit. There's not really anything super extra special, but I would love you. Yeah, if you would comment and do your homework over on YouTube. But everybody, do your homework, do your homework, do your homework. Okay, we have just a couple of minutes before the halfway point, which is fantastic because I really, really need something to drink. I'm sure y'all could hear that. So everybody stop and get you a drink of water. Thank you, Barbara, for reminding me about that. This is the halfway point. Thank you, Sandra. In chat, this is the halfway point in chat number 329. 5 cues to help you eat more mindfully. Everybody stop and get you a drink of water. This is the only time all week long that I know that you had water. Okay, and I have to say, a little not product announcement. I don't know if y'all can see them, but because I've been bringing in so much fresh produce, and because the doors here stink, like the ceiling in these doors, it stinks. We are inundated with fruit flies, and I have tried everything, including purchasing one of these, and I knew it was a Zevo. I've purchased a Zevo. It works okay. Just saying. I'm just saying, if you're thinking about getting one, the jury's still out. I'm still thinking about that one, okay? So wait until I've decided fully. It works okay, but I was expecting the little fruit flies to be like, I must go into the light, and that they would go immediately, and that's just not happening, okay? Loretta has been making a big pitcher of green tea, and it's so refreshing with lemon. That sounds fantastic. I have not had time since we moved here in the showroom to do my refrigerator tea, but I am anxious to get back to that. We are starting to get settled in since we're getting, appliances hooked up and things working and whatever, so we're starting to get more settled in. Okay, so tonight we have another head-to-head battle. This time it is the Instant Pot and the air fryer, and they are going, oh wait, Sylvia said, where did you get that apron? I wish I knew. I have had this for years. I actually bought this for my best friend Melanie. Her father-in-law passed away, and I bought this to go over and be the hostess for all the plethora of food. Talk about a situation. All the plethora of food. And yes, Debbie, I have tried that. Debbie wants to know if I've tried a bowl of apple cider vinegar for the fruit flies. I have. Yeah, great. And Sarah says I'm frozen. I am hoping not, because that was so irritating last week when that did that. Okay, and Loretta is in love with our kitchen cupboards. And Loretta, if you live in our area, I also sell cabinets now too. So cabinets, handles, the pulls, countertops. Yeah, I just sell it all now. Okay, so the second half of tonight's chat, we are talking about another head-to-head battle. It's the air fryer versus the Instant Pot again. You all have heard me say it over the last few weeks. We have, and Cynthia, I'll try that too. We are starting to get some gangly looking tomatoes, but they've not given up yet. So my garden downtown with my neighbor Coco, her name's Nicole, but the kids all call her Coco. So the garden that Coco and I are sharing has not given up yet on the tomatoes. It has certainly not given up yet on the cucumbers. Really, the cucumbers have almost become a weed this year. I just don't know how we're getting so many. Just so many. We've got no zucchini, no yellow squash. All the eggplant were gone, like dead, gone. Bugs had eaten them. I don't know what happened to them, but all of those were gone before they even had a chance. We have harvested a sum total of 6 jalapeno peppers, 0 bell peppers, Anyway, so I love, and my mom loved she called them end of season tomatoes. So when the tomatoes would start to look a little funky, you know, like they just looked kind of sad before you even got them picked off of the vine, that was one of my mom's favorite times, because then she could just start just making stuff, because they didn't have to look pretty, you know, because what she was going to turn them into, like she wasn't slicing them to put on a sandwich, she wasn't chopping them up to put them in, you know, to put them in a salad or anything like that. It was okay if they started out looking ugly or sad or gangly or whatever you want to call them, because they were just going to get turned into something else. So tonight is going to be Instant Pot versus air fryer, and these are end of season tomatoes. And thank you so much, Sylvia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sylvia just gave 100 stars. Thank you very much, Sylvia. We will be mentioning you next week, and if anybody else wants to give any stars towards my 5,000 star goal to, again, pay for all of this that I bought to be able to test these things for you all, but that would be fantastic. And you can give stars during the live chat now here on Facebook, and also again later after it's posted. So thank you, Sylvia. I do sincerely appreciate that so much. But so we're going head to head, Instant Pot versus air fryer. I already know how the air fryer ones turn out. Normally I do those with a bigger sliced tomato. I made them the same size tomato as we're going to do in the Instant Pot, just for comparison. The Instant Pot, I finally picked something that's going to cook so fast in the Instant Pot that did you notice? Did anybody notice I did not have to start it at the beginning of the chat, because it's going to be so fast. If I don't quit talking, it won't be, but it's going to be so fast that it's going to cook while we're talking. Okay, so I did also put the Instant Pot across the room, only just so that I had a little bit more room over here. So we're going to start with the insert for the Instant Pot, and you can use a 3-quart, 3-quart, 5-quart, or a 6-quart. Pretty sure I've got a 5-quart because my little inside here ends at 5. Then I'm going to take and add to that, I'm going to add some gangly looking tomatoes. And if you don't know what gangly looking tomatoes are, like, see how it's just kind of spotted, you know, it's not a pretty tomato anymore. This one, because this is just a grape tomato, and because it's a little bit bigger than a cherry tomato, I'm just going to cut it into a couple of pieces, set it in the bottom. The ones that are smaller like this, I'm just going to go ahead and set them in. Oh, I'm going to cut the end off of that one. Okay. Oh, here's another big one. Let me cut that up a little bit. So remember, we're not going for a beauty contest with this. We're just going for, we can eat it, we can go ahead, you know, and I think that's what we're making, Loretta, is blister tomatoes. So here are some more round ones. Ooh, and Sylvia says she made the tomatoes but in the oven. I mean, like, see how ugly that little one is? They're just ugly, but we still love them. Here's some more little ones. These actually came, these little teeny tiny ones here, these came off of the, we've got a little plant out front that Alyssa and I planted that make it grows little heart-shaped tomatoes. We're gonna throw those in there. Here's a couple more big grape tomatoes. We're gonna cut those in half. And remember, if the spots are if the gangly looking is too gangly, just get rid of it. Okay, got a couple more to put in here, and here's a couple more. Just gonna put those in their hole. Okay, so there are the last of the gangly tomatoes that we picked this week. Okay, to that, I'm gonna just spritz them with a little bit of olive oil. Okay. Then to that, I'm a cheater. I use squeezed garlic. So the garlic, though, you want to put on top. Put it on the top of a couple of the tomatoes, because you don't want it to get on the bottom or you might get a burn warning. And I will tell you, I got the burn warning earlier making something else. That is a horrific noise I will never do again. Has anybody else gotten the burn warning from on their Instant Pot? That was felt like the entire, I don't know, felt like the whole fire department was coming. It's not burning, like it's not on fire, but that was a noise that I never care to hear again. Okay, I'm just adding some Italian seasonings on here. Just have a little oregano. This is what we happen to have in the showroom: oregano, rosemary, and basil. I need to find my Dax spices that I had packed away for the move here so we can use those. And to that, I'm gonna add about 3 or 4 tablespoons of water. And before Debbie passes out, she's probably made this before, but before she passes out, that is enough water to make these. That is enough water to make these because supposedly, allegedly, when they burst, they're going to produce enough water that it's not going to burn, okay? And again, don't ever want one of those burn warnings again. So I put all of that inside of the insert, the stainless steel insert. If you're worried about a burn warning, apparently you can put them inside of another container and then put that down in there. Haven't tried that yet. This is the head-to-head Instant Pot versus air fryer on the end of season tomatoes. I'm going to put these. Okay, now I got this from somebody else, so fingers crossed this is going to work. So we're going to put this whole insert into the Instant Pot. We're going to put the lid on there, and remember, we're going to line this up. Okay, and that do-do-do-do tells me that it's correct. Make sure that it is on seal and not on vent. We're going to, we're going to press pressure cook, custom. I'm going to do it on high for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. We don't need it to keep warm. And I'm going to hit start. Okay, so when that gets done, yeah, Debbie says the tomatoes will produce water too. So she is a pro. She's an Instant Pot genius. So she already knew that before I even said it. Yeah, but okay. So in the Instant Pot, it was the tomatoes. It can be grape tomatoes. It can be little tomatoes. It can be tomatoes. It can be cherry tomatoes. Whatever you want. In the Instant Pot, I did go ahead and put mine directly in the insert. Spritz them with a little bit of olive oil. Add a couple of tablespoons of water, because the tomatoes are going to make their own water too. Put them in, put the insert into the Instant Pot. Woo. Put that into the Instant Pot, put it on high. Yep, you're a pro, Debbie. Listen, you're like 27 levels above me. You're a pro, okay? You're going to put it on high. You're going to pressure cook on high, sealed. Okay, pressure cook on high for 2 minutes. And then after the 2 minutes, we're going to do a quick release. So I said that was going to be done before we got done. Hopefully I'm right, because I forgot to calculate how long it would take it to come to pressure. I don't know. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you I already did the air fryer version because I've got that one down pat. I'm going to show you those in just a second. But first, I'm going to show you what I made to go with this. So this is what caused the burn warning. Okay. I looked at, it's Jackie and what is their name? Debbie, you're the one that told me to look them up. Jackie and, oh man, and it's called pressurecooking.com. So I went there to get some ideas on how to do the tomatoes, what to add to them, add water, don't add water, put them in a pot, don't put them in a pot, whatever. And they had 2 methods. Method number 1, they said could set off the burn warning on your Instant Pot. Method number 2, Amy and Jackie, that's it. Thank you, Debbie. Could set it off. Method number 2 might not. Okay, well, I decided to do a method that would probably not set it off, but I did not decide to do that making this. So I also made today, because I'm going to use this with the tomatoes, and then I'm going to freeze them, I made polenta. So polenta, for those of you who do not know, is the Italian version of grits. So I am from the South. We eat grits down here, y'all, okay? Not everybody. Like Casey cannot stand them. I love them. And until I was an adult, I made grits and I added sugar. When I made grits, I added sugar and butter. Butter and sugar, sugar and butter. Like lots of it. You know, you don't get this way from eating, you know, cucumbers out of the garden all day. But grits are the Southern girls' version of polenta. I need to know, does anybody north of, let's say, Kentucky, does anybody north of Kentucky or west of, let me pick something, west of Memphis, because I don't really consider Memphis to be part of Tennessee, Does anybody west of Memphis or anybody north of Kentucky eat grits? Just curious. Show of hands. Anybody. I love them. Now that I'm an adult, I do not put butter and sugar in my grits. Okay, Vicky loves grits. Okay, so tell me this. If you're going to shout out about the grits, please also tell us where you're from, like what state you're from, so that we at least can put some, perspective on what part of the country you're in and if you like grits. I would still consider Texas part of the South, Liz. Liz says Texas, yes. And Mary Ann says, oh, nope, it was a heart. Ooh, Carol's in Pittsburgh and says, yep, loves grits. And Debbie does butter. Debbie's in Florida. I already know that. She does butter, no sugar. And Lynn says Texas is yes. Vicky says, love grits, Georgia. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, Vicky. That totally makes sense. Okay, so I was going to do grits tonight. And then I thought, I'll wait. And it's been a long time since I've had polenta. Let's see, hold on. Sylvia says Oklahoma. She hates them, but her husband loves them. Oh, but she's Hispanic. Okay. Yeah, so that makes sense. And Mary says from Pittsburgh, never had them, but others in Pittsburgh do. And Vicky said grits with butter and black pepper. Sounds fantastic. Now that I'm an adult, I will eat them however they come. But I decided to go, and Barbara says no, and she's from New York. And Carol Lou says butter and cheese, please. Okay, we're going to be close with the polenta tonight, Carol Lou. So instead of grits, I decided to go ahead and do polenta. I will say, I've never made polenta in the Instant Pot. I have now. Ooh, Corrine says no, and she's from the Canadian prairies. And Sandra's never had them in Pennsylvania, and Milby says yes, in Mississippi. But I had never made a polenta, and normally I normally buy it already in a tube and then just slice it when I have it, but I wanted to actually make some in the Instant Pot. I will say, hold on a second, Sherry says, love me some Florida grits, butter, salt, and pepper with a little cheese. Yep, and the other Barbara has never had them. You've got to come try them, okay? So I got polenta this time, didn't buy it in a tube, didn't slice it because I wanted to see how it would cook up in the Instant Pot. It was ridiculously easy to make, except I did get the burn warning. So I will be working on that, and I will not be posting a video about how to make polenta in the Instant Pot until I try it a way that does not set off the burn warning. I'm telling you, every light on that Instant Pot was going off all at the same time, screaming at me. You couldn't figure out which button to push. I had to unplug it. I could not make it stop until I unplugged it. Okay, so the Instant Pot polenta from Amy and Jackie. Again, I did not choose method 2. I chose method 1. Method 1 said that it could set off, that if you're, and yes, shrimp with grits is great. Debbie, jalapeno grits, Vicky, fantastic. Method 1 said that it could set off the burn warning. It did. Okay, I will not be making them that way again. So method 1, you put a teaspoon of salt, 4.5 cups of water or chicken stock or something like that in the Instant Pot. Add 1 cup of polenta, coarse ground polenta, and I got Bob's Red Mill just because I like Bob's. He's a great guy. I've never met him, but it's all organic, all that kind of stuff. So I got that, did that, and then you, it says not to stir it. So I didn't stir it, and then you pressure cook on high for 10 minutes. I made it to like 8, and then that's when all what broke loose. Beep, 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 beep. So I unplugged it and didn't vent it, and I let it sit for the 15 minutes. So you were supposed to high pressure for 10, natural release for 15. I got the alarm, so I just unplugged it. Okay, see, that's ready. And now it's gonna cook for 2 minutes, okay? So we really will make before the end to try these. But yeah, burn warning, unplugged it, and let it sit for about 10 or 15 more minutes, and then I did a quick release there at the end, and they still turned out great. So if you've never had polenta, if you don't know much about it, it seriously is the Italian version of grits, and we're going to use this when our tomatoes come out. But I did want to show you, I made enough that I have some to put in the freezer. So I made enough polenta that I have these 3, which are already firm, these to go in the freezer. If you've never purchased polenta in a tube, it firms up like this. So after you cook it and after you let it cool off, and once I freeze these, I'll pop them out and show them to you. But look, so that even, I mean, I need to freeze them because I won't be able to eat it fast enough to stay good. But I'm just saying, if you're looking for something that you can save and eat later, polenta makes these. This isn't frozen. This has literally just been sitting here firming up. It gets that firm. That's why when you buy it in a tube, you can slice it. So those will be going into the freezer. These, however, so those were the half cup. That's the half cup super cubes. And then these are the 2 cup super cubes, but I did about a half a cup of polenta in the bottom. And then what we're making, there's enough. It's going to go on top with some other stuff, go in the freezer so that I can add some eggs or some tofu or something on a day when I need to. Oh, Barbara says she has what I just made in a restaurant. Awesome. Yeah, so that I can have that for a meal here in the showroom another time, because it's good with ham, it's good with chicken, it's good with tofu, it's good with all that. Okay, so it's done. Now we're going to do a quick release. And I have pulled this out a little bit so that that steam, I pulled it out a little bit from our cabinets so that steam will not go up into the bottom of our brand new cabinets here in the showroom. So we're going to let those slow release while those are, those quick release. While those are quick releasing, let me show you the air fryer ones. So the air fryer end of season tomatoes, you can do, if they're full size tomatoes, and no, polenta's not bad with points either, and it's delicious. You can mix a little butter in with it if you want to. You can mix in a little after you cook it. You can mix in a little heavy cream if you wanted to. Sometimes I do fat-free half and half just to make it a little bit creamier. If I don't want to add butter, you could certainly mix like cream cheese or something like that with it. It makes a great breakfast, lunch, dinner, anytime snack. So the air fryer version of the end of season tomatoes, you can slice them. Like if you've got bigger tomatoes, you can just slice them and you can line the bottom of your air fryer basket. So if your air fryer basket is like this, or if you have an air fryer oven, like if you've got one of the bigger ones, just make sure that it's going to be in something that cleanup is going to be semi-easy. Since these were going to be mostly whole tomatoes, I went ahead and put them in this insert that came with my air fryer. You can get these, they don't have to come with your air fryer. So polenta, okay, so Sylvia asked a great question. She says, is it cornmeal? Polenta, here, okay, so do you have something to write with? Because I'm going to give you all the ingredients for polenta. While I'm waiting on y'all to get something to write with, I'm going to tell you that a 1/4 cup is a serving. It's 140 calories, no fat, no saturated fat, no trans fat. Sodium is 0 unless you add sodium to it. 1 gram of fiber, no sugar, no added sugar, 3 grams of protein. So as far as a carb goes, it's pretty, it's pretty darn good for you. Does have, let's see, hold on. So the carbohydrates are 32. Okay, so for everybody that went to get a pen, polenta, the ingredients are corn. It's corn. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Sylvia. It is ground corn. Yeah. So I bet you would like it. I bet you would like this very much. Okay, so for the air fryer tomatoes, if I'm doing bigger tomatoes and slicing them, ooh, and Anna says, or Anna, whatever which one it is, says my Italian grandmother used to make a smooth, creamy polenta with just tomato sauce on top. That's kind of sort of what we're doing today. So thanks, Anna's grandma. So the air fryer one though, if you do the sliced, you can do them in the oven on 300 for an hour. So you would slice the tomatoes, put them on a parchment-lined cookie sheet, spray them with a little bit of olive oil, do some seasonings, maybe do some Bragg nutritional yeast, something like that, and it's 300 for an hour. In the air fryer, I do them on 260 for about 30-ish minutes, only because the air fryer, because the heat is going all the way around it, they cook at a much faster speed, and at 300 that they explode. So you don't want exploding tomatoes. Okay, this is how the air fryer version turned out. So this is cheating because I already know how these turn out. So let me get a wee baby one of these and try it. Okay, so here And we're gonna try one of those here in just a second. Got 10 minutes left. We're doing great. So here is what one of the air fryer ones tastes like. And again, in the air fryer, I did the same thing, a little bit of spritz with some olive oil, did a little bit of seasoning. I did not have any nutritional, well, I didn't add any nutritional yeast because I wasn't putting it in the Instant Pot, and I wanted this to be head to head. So this is the same things that I put in the Instant Pot version, went in this version, in the air fryer. Sweet. As sweet as they can be. Okay. So that's the air fryer version. Then we are going to grab a towel because I do not want to put that hot Instant Pot on my brand new quartz countertops. Okay, we're going to do, so we just did a quick release. A little button has popped up. Yep, this is good to open. Okay, they look like they have exploded. So I heard somebody call them burst tomatoes. What did you all call them? Split tomatoes? I can't remember what you all called them. Okay, I'm going to hold this up as best as I can, but I don't want to spill them. Okay, maybe I should just take some out. Let me get one of these out. Okay, so these smell heavenly. They are burst. I really feel like I should... Ooh, Barbara says in New York have a lot of barbecue Portuguese and they have a plethora of what? What am I going to get here to show these to you? I think I will strain them just a little bit so that you all can see what they look like without burning myself. So they look more like stewed tomatoes. Does that make sense? So the Instant Pot version looks more like stewed tomatoes. They smell fantastic. Let me go ahead and find a small one of these to try. So again, that was it was only 2 minutes. So the Instant Pot one definitely was faster to cook. So that's one check mark I can finally give to the Instant Pot. And honestly, I don't think you can cook polenta in the air fryer. So that's another check mark for the Instant Pot. Let's see if this is too hot to eat. I don't want to burn myself in front of you all. Has anybody else made them this way? What do you all do with them? They said you could use an immersion blender and go ahead and like make like a tomato sauce or like a tomato puree. Too hot? Also good. No, I like it. It's different. It's very different from the air fryer version. I'm gonna say I'm not sure I don't know. That's very different. It's just a different taste. It's not, you know, like everything else I've said. Oh yeah, you know, the air fryer wins by a landslide because of, you know, A, B, and C. This is really good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go ahead and use, because these are fresh and hot, I'm going to go ahead and add some of the Instant Pot version. I'm going to add these to my polenta, and then to that, I'm going to add, does anybody know what these are? And if you say mini mushrooms, not mini mushrooms, if you say mini marshmallows, I'm gonna hurt you. Does anybody know what this is that I'm putting on here? Uh-oh, and Debbie and Carol Lou are going head to head on an air fryer versus Instant Pot. Yes, they are mozzarella bits. You are correct. You are correct, Cynthia. They looked like tiny little marshmallows when I got them out. So these are pearls. If you've not ever seen mozzarella pearls, they're the teeny tiny kind. Oh, I still have 5 minutes to bore you all with information. So these are mozzarella pearls, and I thought they would be the perfect size for this. So let me try a little bit of this with polenta, which sent off the burn feature in the Instant Pot, just kidding, and some Instant Pot, I guess these are called burst tomatoes, and a little bit of mozzarella. Let's see how this is. This should be a really homey kind of an Italian dish. And since Alyssa calls me Nona, we will stick with that. Ugh, fruit flies. Okay. That is very good. So Instant Pot polenta, pretty sure you can't make polenta in the air fryer. Instant Pot burst tomatoes, I guess, and a little bit of mozzarella. Absolutely delicious. I'm gonna say it's a tie. So I don't know, they're just very different. The air fryer tomatoes, I think these would be really good maybe on some bruschetta or, you know, something like that, maybe in a baked potato, you know, something a little pizza. These would be really, really good on pizza. This, the Instant Pot version, because they're a little bit wetter, this is, oh yeah, Debbie said that would be great on spaghetti squash instead of polenta. It really would be. I'm gonna say that the Instant Pot one probably is gonna fare better on the polenta, but we're gonna freeze some of this and see how that works out. So I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope you will try this. I hope you will make some. I hope you will not set off the burn function on your Instant Pot if you try the polenta. Once I've got that nailed down and figured that out, I will for sure post a video showing how to make polenta without setting off your burn warning. But I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope that you will go ahead, if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you'll let that next video go ahead and roll over, and pretty please hit this little button down here to subscribe. If you're here with us on Facebook, thank you again as always. Thank you so much, Sylvia, for sending stars. Everybody else, you can send stars now, or you can send them as soon as we are done. I will still get them and I will still see them, but I want to thank you all very much. I'm going to eat the rest of my polenta, tomatoes, burst tomatoes, and mozzarella, and I will see you next week. Have a great week. Good night, everybody.